Here's another read aloud story for you today. This is a really good book about going to school. So let's find out. It's called Wemberley Worried. It's by Henkes. He's the author and the illustrator. Now this story is about Wemberly, and she's worried about big things, and she's worried about little things. She worries about going to the school for the first time. She's worried about if she goes to school, what's going to happen to her. She's worried, is she going to make a friend? Okay? So we're going to read this book to see how is she going to get through her day. If she is so worried all day about school, she's not going to have any fun. So we need to find out how is she going to make it through her day. Miss Wemberley Worried. Wemberly worried about everything. She worried about big things. I wanted to make sure you were still here. Little things, like spilling her juice. She's worried it's going to hit her bunny. And things in between. Mama, what if I shrink? She's taking a bath. She's worried about shrinking in the tub. Wemberly worried in the morning. She worried at night. And she worried throughout the day. You worry too much, said her mother. When you worry, I worry, said her father. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. Even her family is concerned because she worries all day. At home, Wemberly worried about the tree in her front yard. What if it falls on our house? And the crack in the living room wall? What if it gets bigger and something comes out of it? And she worried about the noises that the radiator made. What if there's a snake inside? At the playground, Wemberly worried about the chains on the swings, the bolts on the slide, and the bars on the jungle gym. Too rusty, too loose, too high, she says. And always she worried about her doll Petal. Shouldn't Petal have a car seat too? I found her, sweetie. She's lost forever. No, honey, I found her. Oh, I'll wait for you, Petal. She's even sitting there watching her get cleaned in the washing machine. Don't worry, said her mother. Don't worry, said her father. But Wemberly worried. She worried and worried and worried. When Wemberly was especially worried, she'd rub Petal's ears. Wemberly worried that if she didn't stop worrying, Petal would have no ears left at all. On her birthday, Wemberly worried that no one would come to her party. See, her mother said, there was nothing to worry about. Look at all the friends came. But then Wemberly worried there might not be enough cake. On Halloween, Wemberly worried that there would be too many butterflies in the neighborhood, like her. See, said her father, there's nothing to worry about. But then Wemberly worried because she was the only butterfly. "You worry too much," said her mother. "When you worry, I worry," said her father. "Worry, worry, worry," said her grandmother. "Too much worry." Soon, Wemberly had a new worry: school. Wemberly worried about the start of school more than anything she'd ever worried about before. What do you think she's going to worry about going to school? I wonder if she's going to think, will I make friends? What will I do with my backpack? Can Petal come? Maybe those are some of the things she's wondering about and worried about. Let's see. By the time the first day arrived, Wemberly had a long list of worries. What if no one else has spots like me? What if no one else wears stripes? What if no one else brings a doll? What if the teacher's mean? What if the room smells bad? What if they make fun of my name? What if I can't find the bathroom? What if I hate the snack? What if I have to cry? "Don't worry," said her mother. "Don't worry," said her father. But Wemberly worried. She worried and worried. She worried all the way there. And there's her grandma says, "Have fun, honey." While Wemberly's parents talked to the teacher, Mrs. Peachum, Wemberly looked around the room. Then Mrs. Peachum said, "Wemberly, there's someone I think you should meet." Her name was Jewel. She was standing by herself. She was wearing stripes, and she was holding a doll. Maybe these two can become friends, do you think? Let's see. At first, Wemberly and Jewel just peeked at one another. "This is Petal," said Wemberly. "This is Niblet," said Jewel. Petal waved. Niblet waved back. "Hi," said Petal. "Hi," said Niblet. "I rub her ears," said Wemberly. "I rub her nose," said Jewel. Throughout the morning, Wemberly and Jewel sat side by side and played together whenever they could. And Petal and Niblet sat side by side too. Even the dolls are friends. Wemberly worried, but no more than usual, and sometimes even less. Before Wemberly knew it, it was time to go home. What helped her worry less at school? Making a friend, right? She made a friend, Jewel. When we make friends and we have friends to play with, we don't need to worry as much because we know we have somebody there that's going to help us and be with us, right? "Come back tomorrow," called Mrs. Peachum as the students walked out the door. Wemberly turned and smiled and waved. "I will," she said. "Don't worry." And that's the end. She came back home. Look at her whole family's happy and dancing together. Do you think they're so proud of Wemberly for making it through her first day of school and meeting a new friend? I think so. I think they realize how happy she is. Now, friends, let's review a little bit. What were some of the things at the beginning of the story that Wemberly was worried about? Remember, she was worried about big things. She was worried about little things. She was worried about those in-between things. Let's see, something that I remembered, I remembered this. She was worried about spilling juice on her doll. What else do you remember? Do you remember the tub? What did she think was going to happen to her in the tub? Shrink? You're right. She thought she might shrink in the tub. That means get smaller. Let's see, what else was she worried about? Oh, right. She was worried about that tree in her front yard. She's like, what if it falls on her house? She was worried about, something I remember, she was worried about rubbing Petal's ears off. She says, what if I rub them so much her ears fall off? She was worried about a lot of things. But even though she was worried about all of these things that we read about, once she got to school, what helped her feel less worried? Use your thinking brain. What helped her feel less worried at school? Did you say making a friend? Right, kiss your brain. Because you're smart, you're thinking. Kiss that brain again. When she made a friend at school, she felt less worried. Right? Good thinking. I wonder why Mrs. Peachum thinks that Wemberly and Jewel would get along. Why did Mrs. Peachum say, hey, Wemberly, go meet Jewel over there? Why do you think she said that? Do you think she realized that maybe Wemberly and Jewel were both worried? Maybe they're both kind of alike. They said, well, wow, those two girls are kind of alike. They're both a little worried. They both have their stuffed animal. I wonder if I can get them to talk to each other. Maybe they would become friends and become less worried. I think that's what Mrs. Peachum was thinking. And did it work? Yep, it worked, because in the end, they were friends and Wemberly was a lot less worried. Now, friends, that was a lot of work today. Kiss that brain again. That was a long story, lots of thinking. I'm proud of you for listening and taking time to do it. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.